All right, Sabres fans, we got this. Let's hope we get this trip. All right, guys, I am sorry I'm a little late with this, and I most likely won't have any other video tonight, guys. This game's going to finish at 1 o'clock, and I got to be up early, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think I can actually be in here, you know, put up a video for you guys at 2 a.m. You know, I do have my limits, guys, but I know I haven't been making enough videos lately. I'll be on it, especially by Wednesday. I'll be on it a lot more. Okay, so let's talk about this, guys. We're on our West trip, and this is it. This is, I believe, makes or breaks our chances. We have to win 2 out of 3. We must win 2 out of 3. I can't say it enough. 1-1 will not cut it on this trip. We got to go at least 2-1-0 or 2-0-1, and we'll be okay. It's going to be that important, I believe, at the end of the season. If we're a point or two floating around out of, you know what I mean? We need these points. So, the Kings. All right, guys, the Kings at home, 15-9-2. The last 10 games, the Kings are 5-4-1. The Sabres on the road, 15-7-2. The last 10 games, 5-3-2. We've lost our last 2 outings, as we know, both home games with a long stretch in between. So there's really no momentum swing. The only thing is, guys, how are we going to play after that disastrous performance last game? That's the question. That's where we're at, right? I'm a believer, and I will be even if we lose today, but I'm a believer, guys, that when you get beaten, when you get slaughtered the way you did, it's easy to bounce back. It's just easier to bounce back. If we would have lost 2-1 in a game, we outshot them 39-18, but we lost because of goaltending, that's hard to let go of, and you carry that resentment into the next game. And that's what we have called a losing streak in the NHL. This is what happens. Teams don't have losing streaks for any reasons but emotional. Or else, let's face it, Carolina would be 82-0 if they didn't have emotional letdowns. They just would be. There's certain teams in the league that would win every single night, right? So, the boys today, what's the question mark is, guys, how will our defensive play hold up in this one, right? This LA team, the one glaring statistic that I see with the Los Angeles Kings, guys, is their goals for and against are a -4. So to me, that's an inflated record that they have at 29-18. Okay, they're 29-18-7. And that means that they're letting in a lot of goals. They're scoring, but they're letting in a lot too. They've let in 183. The Sabres have let in 177. We played 51 games. And they have played 54. It's similar, right? So, but they're -4, and the Sabres now, their goals for and against is down to a +11. So, we shall see, guys. Now, the out-of-town games to keep an eye on. Calgary at Ottawa. We need Calgary to win that one. We don't care about that. We don't care about that. Detroit at Vancouver. We need Vancouver to win. Good luck with that, hope. And our game. So, we'll see. Now, as we sit in the wild card, guys, the Sabres are 5 points out behind Pittsburgh with a game in hand. Okay, there is a game in hand. But we're 6 points behind the Capitals now with 4 games in hand. Oh, sorry. 4 games in hand, 1 on Pittsburgh. I'm reading the wrong team. I was looking at the Islanders. We're 4 points behind the Islanders, 5 games in hand. And we are 2 points behind Florida, 4 games in hand. We're sitting pretty with games in hand. We need to get winning, so when these games even up, we can make our push, okay? If we stay in a losing streak, all these games in hand fall out the window. Not us in the playoff race. It might look like it mathematically, we're not out, guys, no matter what. We could lose all 3 of these games. We're not out, but we don't want to have to be just, you know, having our dreams fade this early. Like, I'd rather get some points here on this trip, and then we can try to figure this out, right? We got to get through this month and still be, I'd say, within 4 points of a playoff spot. If we can do that, then we can make a push. And the good thing is, guys, we're going to see what the kids are made of, I believe, on this West trip. We're going to see. And we're going to see what the team in general is made of. You know, how ready are they to really take that next step? We're about to find out, because we can't forever miss the playoffs. Sooner or later, the Sabres are going to get in. I don't know if it'll be this year. It might not be. But as long as us guys, as long as us as a franchise are there late in the year, and we're pushing and pushing and pushing right to the end, I can live with this year, guys. I can. You know, it might be a heartbreaking end. I'm prepared for that as a fan. I am this year. But then we'll look back at it with fondness at the end of the year, and we'll be proud of them, you know, by the end of the year, not now. Now we're emotionally caught into this. This is a war we want to win and get in somehow, right? So it wasn't meant to be that we were, you know, there was one day this year that we could have been in a playoff position this late in the season, and it slipped out of our fingers, and the long layoff and the beatings, and you know what I mean? All of a sudden this starts to happen. Nah, not really. No. Different time, folks. The worst of times have passed, you know, the worst of times are gone. They're behind us now. But it doesn't mean we're a shoo-in to get in the playoffs yet. This is the youngest team in hockey. There's no guarantees this year. This year is just a freebie. You know, if we get in the playoffs this year, we're way ahead of schedule. We are. I'll say that right away. We are way ahead of schedule. If the Buffalo Sabres make the playoffs this year, we're way ahead of schedule, folks. Way ahead. We're not supposed to even be close to the playoffs this year. We're not, really, technically speaking. But that's what I love. And I always say, guys, what I love about a young team. I'm going to miss when this is not a young team no more. Because I love having a young team, guys. I do. I love the not knowing of the future, you know, because you can't write them off when they're a bunch like this. Like the Sabres now could roll off 8 wins in a row. There's no way to know. That's the great feeling about this, all of this. But as you know, and yes, I think I stewed out there the other video, and I calmed down. I'm a little calmer now, but I was ticked. I was ticked because, you know, when your pride's on the line, you have to take a stand. You just have to take a stand. It's not negotiable. You have to take a stand. And they didn't do that last game. So let's see tonight. All right, let's see what they do. Stay calm, folks. Stay calm. Make sure you enjoy this game because, you know, these are the games that we were begging for years and years and years. We didn't have these type of games, right? We didn't have these games where, you know, they weren't important like it is tonight. And, you know, and then you could say, well, last year the Sabres finished really good. Yeah, but last year they knew those games didn't count. The Sabres know now these games count. There's a difference. We have to see how they mature with that. All right, we're going to see tonight. So I'm going to leave it there. Let's go Buffalo. Let's get back in the winning track. If we can win this one, it's going to be a hard one. This is the one that, guys, if we're going to lose one of these 3 games, it's most guaranteed. It's most likely going to be tonight. You know, most likely. But I want to see how the kids bounce back after that humiliating loss. I want to see tonight. I'm expecting them to bounce back. Win or lose, I'm expecting to see one hell of a solid game out of the kids tonight. All right, folks, let's go Buffalo. See you guys later, most likely tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.